Come on, Davy, knock me down. I've been too long here in this town. Nothing holds me anymore, just the local dinosaur. Come on, buddy, shake a leg. You wanna see a giant bag? Well, you gotta earn that golden crown. Come on, Davy, knock me down. I won in Louisville last night. Another time, another fight. Left a dreamer on the mat. He'd never seen a left like that. Broken knuckle, black and sore, but I signed on for this before. Way back when I was a kid, fighting was just what I did. Come on, Dave, and knock me down. I've been too long here in this town, and nothing holds me anymore, just the local dinosaur. Come on, buddy, shake a leg. You wanna see a giant bag? You gotta earn that golden crown. Come on, Dave, and knock me down. I could've left here once, I guess, just that one time. If I'd said yes, I'd be a millionaire by now, watching my money on the dial. Probably had kids and a wife, some kind of crazy happy life. Now I'm really talking shit. Come on, Dave, where'd you learn to hit? Come on, Dave, and knock me down. Been too long here in this town, and nothing holds me anymore, just the local dinosaur. Come on, buddy, shake a leg. You wanna see a giant bag? You gotta earn that golden crown. Come on, Dave, and knock me down.
Dear stranger, I saw you in the deli, but I was too scared to say hello. Then again, that's how most of these stories turn out, isn't it? A person falls in love, however briefly, with another person, but never really works up the courage to utter a single word. It's odd, though, because I'm a writer, a quite prolific one, too. You'd think I'd be full of words to hand to you like a bouquet. But the truth of the matter is that I was anxious. I have this problem called social anxiety, where even going to the local hardware store or ordering pizza over the phone seems like a gigantic roadblock in the path of my entire day. I dread these things. Interaction is so hard. And as I stared at you, trying to memorize the pattern your eyelashes made on your cheek in shadow, the way you closed your eyes for a few split seconds to decompress, I was scared of all the things that could happen. I could spill my coffee down your shirt, accidentally knock your cell phone off the table, forget my name. I have done that before, you know. Forget my own name. There were just so many combinations, infinite combinations of things that could go wrong and destroy my one chance of being with you forever. So, as usual, I didn't say a word. I paid for my sandwich and drink and sat down at a corner table, as far away from anyone else as I possibly could, and ate by myself, quietly. My mother used to say that you can always feel when someone else's stare is upon you, that it's like a heavy cloak has just been spread over your shoulders, but you were so deep in thought you didn't notice me looking at all. My favorite thing to do is think about time, space, and energy. The space-time continuum. Space is a kind of fabric punctured by holes and flaws and astronauts landing on the moon. So I thought about rupturing my own personal space-time fabric as I ate my roasted pepper panini, the fabric I had kept carefully preserved and hidden for so long. I've always had a plan. I've always followed the exact instructions and rules, and just once I wanted to stray from the path and walk over to you, smile, introduce myself. And I may have spun out of control, but at the time I was more than willing to experience that sensation just for you. I thought about it for a while. So little space between my eyes and yours. A few split seconds between getting up from the table, pushing my chair in, and walking over to yours. A surprise, an unexpected event, something that could change me utterly and totally forever. But the idea of doing something not already written down in my daily planner was simply too much for me. My palms were already starting to sweat, my breath coming faster. Even being remotely close to you and the other customers in the deli was causing me to panic. It's like the walls were closing in and I had to get out of there. So I shoved back my chair and rushed out the door. I barely remember you glancing up as I hurried past, out of curiosity or surprise at the sound of my chair made as the metal scraped across the floor. I don't know which. That seemed like the only time in my life anyone had ever paid the slightest bit of attention to me. On the bus ride home, I leaned my head against the glass and stared out at the people passing by in blurs. I can't walk home because it involves eye contact with too many strangers, and I can't drive myself home because I'm afraid I'll make a wrong turn and someone will notice. The bus is the safest place for me. It allows me time to think. So I thought about you all the way back to my apartment. I thought about everything I'd given up in the past just to feel less anxious, just to make myself feel more comfortable. I thought about my safety zone and how I'd never once ventured out of it. I thought about the stupid space-time fabric and how I wanted so badly to rip holes in it every day. So many holes that could never be fixed or mended. I wanted to do things that made me feel uncomfortable, to experience things that made me feel unreal and tingly and wholly confused. You could have been one of them, but you weren't, and you won't ever be. The city has too many people in it to find you again, and even if I did, who knows what I would have done, or even if I would have talked to you at all. We could have gotten married and had a kid and a vegetable garden full of eggplant and tomatoes and cabbage, a tiny apartment overlooking the ocean full of knitting needles and leftover Chinese food, and so much love contained in one small space. We could have. We could have. I could have. That's what I say to myself every time I don't do something I know I should have. But if I could go back in time, it wouldn't be an activity I would redo. It would be a moment, and it would involve you.
You came into the room to question everything, and everything that holds it all together. He said we might as well be howling at the moon, walking out in every kind of weather. You're spinning puzzle pieces round inside your pretty head. I'm shooting bullet holes in signs along the trail. But after all, we're only riding blind, my dear, inside the belly of a